morning, Kourt Chronicles family. I wanted to come and bring you guys some Shanquella Robinson updates. The governor of Los Cabos, excuse me, let me sip my tea, it's early, he was at a press conference and a reporter asked one burning question about the Shanquella Robinson case. And her name is, and I wrote her name down so we could shout out, the reporter is Za Maria, and it's XAS, but we're going to see it. And basically, Mexico officials say they have done everything possible. And at this juncture, they are literally waiting for the United States to process the Interpol warrant and to start apprehending the person listed in the warrant. And also, what's important in this interview is De La Rosa emphasizes something that we've all been saying. He says he wants all six of the Cabo Six to be interviewed and questioned. And he means business. So his tone is very serious. So without further ado, let me play the interview. And this is from, guys, this is from Truth Teller Danny. She is a fellow content creator. And I saw this last night while I was about to go to bed. So shout out to Truth Teller Danny. Also, I'm including her full link in the video below, so you can check out her video with the full coverage because she's been covering Shanquella. Really, really dope page. But without further ado, let's get into the press conference. And Truth Teller Danny did the translations and put the captions. I'm slowing it down a little bit so we can watch everything. So no, she's not speaking this slow, but I slowed it down so we can see the playback and read everything.
Right.
Okay, and this is the press conference. This is the report, Ziamara, and she's from Ma Noticias.
And then it says the first to ask the question is Ziamara from Mas Noticias. I guess that's the media she's from. So this is her question. And she says, one question, please. And I might have to slow it down if it's because I have to read it, right?
Buenos días, gobernador, y a la mesa. Preguntarle en relación, ya comentaba un poquito sobre el tema de la joven.
See, that skipped over, so I didn't get a chance to read it. Hold on. Y'all, wait, I'm sorry. It's actually like a lot of information, even though
Entonces, no ha sido
of extradition is still standing. Also know then this person has not been arrested. What have you been informed in these last weeks, these last days, and about the people who were also present that appear in this video? They have already been identified. And also if there is an arrest warrant against the people. Thanks. And it says, thanks, well, thank you very much. With your permission, well, in relation to the question, indeed, there is already a court order for the crime of femicide to the detriment of the victim, and they requested so much. The red file Interpol, the immigration alert, has already been issued. Also, for part of the INAMI authorities and for the entry and exit of the country. And I have also requested international extradition with the support of the Attorney General of the Republic and the authorities of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I have already done the pertinent procedures with the North American authorities. Are you following the course of the legal procedures that the North American authority develops based on the protocol of those institutions and In relation to your question, is suspended. There is no impunity in the case. It is being fully investigated. It will right now to obtain above all the injunction of the alleged unfortunate facts, but also for omissions or even some situation of criminal authorship, thereof complicity. It has been investigated. In fact, some interviews have also been requested in terms of international collaboration to the North American authorities so that they send the
And jury family, I just wanted to pause because you see how De La Rosa points out that he's requested interviews. And what stood out to me is it's plural. And you see the look on his face when he says it. So he talks about how he's done everything. He submitted everything to the US and he's requesting interviews. So this is not what we suspect with the warrant. This is in addition to. And this press conference was yesterday.
Of the friends who are the related there to the event. Unfortunate, so if everything has been done that the Mexican authority, or in this case the Baja California South authorities together with the federal authorities have had to carry out a very objective and comprehensive investigation.
And I'm just doing a playback so we can listen to what he's saying about North America's authorities, because in this interview, he's speaking in Spanish, and thankfully, truth teller Danny is doing the read over. So it's a little bit hard to follow if you're listening to two voices, but he's saying we submitted everything to Interpol. We've submitted everything to the United States, but we can't go to the US and extract people. So we need the United States to process these documents, deal with the legalities of an international transfer. And notice he said interviews, and I'm curious for all of my Spanish counselors, can you let me know if the word interview, when the way he's using it, does that mean deposition? Because I understand in different languages, they use different terms differently in law. And I don't want to assume an interview is just questioning, because it may be something more official. But I do know he's the Attorney General and he's requesting interviews of all people involved. He said we sent over the red notices to Interpol. And if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome to Kourt Chronicles. We did some videos going over Interpol's red notices and the distinction in Crime in Cabo Part 5 and 6. But a red notice is a criminal notice, whereas a yellow notice is like a missing person if a kid goes missing. So he's filed a red notice with Interpol. He's put out the request. And now he's saying, in addition to that warrant, we want interviews, but we need the United States to do what they need to do as far as processing, because De La Rosa does not have authority in Mexico. But let's go back to the playback. And excuse me, De La Rosa does not have legal authority in the United States of America. I'm saying Mexico, pardon me. His authority is limited and confined to Mexico. And jurisdictionally, he can only exercise, any type of punishment or ramification within his practice and jurisdiction of Mexico. So excuse me.
The protocol of those institutions. And in relation to your question, is suspended. There is no impunity in the case. It is being fully investigated. It will right now to obtain above all the injunction of the alleged unfortunate facts, but also for omissions or even some situation of criminal authorship, thereof complicity. It has been investigated. In fact, some interviews have also been requested in terms of international collaboration to the North American authorities so that they send the interviews of the friends who are the related there to the event. Unfortunate. So if everything has been done that the Mexican authority, or in this case, the Baja California South authorities, together with the federal authorities, have had to carry out a very objective and comprehensive investigation.
So, guys, that was the speech that De La Rosa gave yesterday at a press conference regarding the Shanquella Robinson case. And to recap, he's emphasized, because, everyone's been concerned, and I hit him up on Twitter over the holidays, and he's saying that as far as Mexico's officials, they've conducted as much as they can within their legal jurisdiction for this case. So, since they don't have any warrants out for anyone outside of that one person who we all suspect is Dejanay, but this is just our suspicion, he doesn't have the legal authority to bring them into question. So he would need the U.S. to help facilitate this. And also, De La Rosa's statement directly contradicts Nazir's statement and his mom's statement, where they mention how they talk to federal authorities, because that's not what De La Rosa is reporting. So it appears De La Rosa still has his foot on the gas on Shanquella's case, and he did everything under the sun that he can do as far as his legal jurisdiction, and now he's waiting on the U.S. And in this press conference, I think it's funny because basically he slams the U.S. This is official to official talking, and he's essentially saying they're derelict in their duties. I'm reading in between the lines. Because he's saying, we did this, we did this, we did this. We drafted the warrant, we investigated, we're looking at criminal charges for some other people. We have notified international authorities. So De La Rosa lays out every single thing that him and his team have done and are doing within the scope of their jurisdictional parameters. And then he looks at the U.S. and says, but we're waiting on the U.S. And he keeps saying, but we're waiting on the U.S. And that's kind of the nice way when lawyers kind of say the ball is in your court. Because, when we're in court, I can't get up there and say, Your Honor, opposing counsel totally dropped the ball. Absolutely. This is a farce. This is malarkey. He playing games with your time. I can't say that. So we have to let the court know in a subtle way who dropped the ball, how De La Rosa eloquently did, as he lists off the list of everything Mexico has done. And then he throws the ball to the U.S. and highlight that they've done absolutely nothing, considering they have the FBI, who's supposed to be the biggest and the baddest, on the case. And they can't find 6 people who go to work every day. And 2 of the 6 people got a bit of Twitter fingers in their system, and they can't really stay off social media. But the FBI is lost in the sauce and can't seem to find them. So De La Rosa basically ended this press conference through the translation, letting us know that the ball is in the U.S.'s court. And this is just some of the playback of some of the data and the stats that we've compiled, jury family, in this playback, some of the notes on the screen with the timeline, because we saw the one with the phone call at 213. Is it me, or anytime something happens in the media, it always happens at 213 or 113? I don't know. Pay attention to numbers, so it just stands out. But with Shanquella's case, we are now waiting to see if the United States will take some serious action, i.e., go and actually apprehend the people or the person who has a warrant in the United States of America, who's an international fugitive. So we shall see, but De La Rosa has spoken. De La Rosa has basically said he wants the smoke with Cabo 6. He wants to interview all of them, not just that one person in the warrant, because the interview/interrogation is built into that process. But for all of the Cabo 6, he wants to interview. So we shall see if the U.S. will stop twiddling its thumbs. And we already see in the United States of America, the treatment of Black women. We have a prosecutor out of Harris County that thinks Black women should be used as punching bags, and he has not lost his job yet. And now we have this case with Shanquella that continues to drag on despite insurmountable evidence, despite video evidence, photographic evidence, recordings. So we shall see how Della Rosa navigates the international waters as he tried to pursue justice while the U.S. continues to treat Black women how they always do, unfortunately. So justice for Shanquella. Let's keep pushing this needle. Please stay active. I will put in the community tab for next week some of our points of activism, because I know we'll be calling Harris County and also reaching out to the authorities in the United States to help them move, give them a little encouragement, if you will, with a firm hand to make sure they know we're fully investigated and ensuring justice is adjudicated to the fullest extent, be that the United States soil or Mexico soil. Anywhere in the global diaspora where a Black woman is harmed, justice should be served swift, and very, very concisely. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, without further ado, you know it wouldn't be us if we didn't do the playback so you can enjoy the receipts. Please tune in to a little bit of fake love. Hit that like button if you are enjoying. This is Kourt Chronicles. We follow cases. We spill legal tea. We pull legal receipts. We learn, we grow, and definitely we connect. We empower ourselves through activism, self-activism on these cases or self-activism in our lives. Welcome to Kourt Chronicles. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope everyone's having a beautiful weekend. Please hit that like button. Feel free to join the jury. Don't be shy.